A gorgeous day across the valley. What about the second half of our weekend? Will it be just as good? I'll let you know coming up.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rosalind Giles. We begin with breaking news tonight. The name of the woman shot by a Lee County Sheriff's deputy last night has been released. The Lee County coroner says 41-year-old Angela Hyatt died on the scene. We're told the deputy fired at Hyatt's red pickup truck when she tried to run him over. She then drove her car into a house, leaving a big hole in the home. The scene unfolded during a traffic stop on Lee Road 443 around 3 yesterday afternoon. The license plate on Hyatt's truck belonged to another vehicle. She was also wanted for parole violation. The deputy hurt his hand but was treated and released. The search continues for Columbus teen missing for almost a year now. Tierica Ogletree was last seen February 2015 at Mentoring Youth, an organization on 27th and 1st Avenue. Ogletree attended Columbus Technical College and was not seen at the school when her ride came to pick her up. She was last seen wearing a black shirt, blue jean jacket, and camouflage pants. She has been seen in the Atlanta area since being reported missing. If you have any information from Columbus Police, they want to hear from you. That number is on your screen. It is also on our website. Across the river now to Alabama in Macon County, that is. New evidence this week in the search for a missing man. Investigators say 2 Nike running shoes found in the woods along County Road 2 near Shorter, Alabama, belonged to 21-year-old Tyree Sanders. Sanders disappeared 9 days ago. Officials say nothing questionable showed up on Sanders' cell phone, and he failed to pick up his paycheck this week from work. Columbus police searching for 2 men wanted for attacking a man at the Dollar General on Warm Springs Road. The victim says the perpetrator swung a knife at him and cut him on both knees. One is said to be about 21 years old, the other approximately 17 years old. If you have any information on this attack, you're asked to call police at the number you see there on your screen. You can also find it on our website. Well, friends from across the country visited Columbus today to help a former Muskogee County educator battling kidney disease. News at 9's Arisha Jones is here to tell us more about this special fundraiser. Arisha?
Well, Alan Sherling was diagnosed with stage 4 renal failure in 2007. Last year, his kidneys completely shut down and is currently on dialysis 3 days a week. To raise money for a kidney transplant, he held a Monopoly tournament today and also a scavenger hunt and a raffle as his first fundraiser. Money from the tournaments will be collected through the nonprofit Help Hope Live to help cover transplants and medical expenses.
I was looking for something that would be fun, that would be family oriented, that people would want to do, and I thought Monopoly is something we all remember from childhood and that it might draw people in. And I contacted Hasbro, and they were more than willing to let me use the Monopoly for this, and so that's made it even more interesting to me that they were willing to support.
Sherling is a former teacher at Baker Middle School and Double Churches Middle School, working at in-school suspension, and was a substitute teacher at Eddy Middle School. Now, for more information on how you can help Sherling raise money for this life-saving transplant, the information is posted on WTVM.com. Back to you, Rosalind.
All right, Arisha, our thanks to you for that report. Well, after coming up short in her bid 3 years ago, Pam Brown is once again looking to unseat Sheriff John Darr in the race for Muskogee County Sheriff. Brown announced her candidacy this morning for the upcoming 2016 race for Muskogee County Sheriff. She narrowly missed beating Sheriff John Darr back in 2012 in the Democratic primary. Brown says she's moving past that disappointment, and now she's looking forward to hopefully getting the job done during this election.
I know I won. There are some things that I found out afterwards that caused me not to win, and I feel like this time I have a better chance because a lot of the people that did not vote for me before have come forth and told me they didn't vote for me, but they are supporting me this go round.
The 2012 race was hotly contested, as you may remember, with Darr narrowly beating out Brown, a former lieutenant with the sheriff's office, by just 71 votes following a recount. Well, sunny, nice blue skies today. Great weather for riding a bike or taking a stroll in the park. Greg Majeski is checking it out for us at the radar this evening. Hi, Greg.
Oh, yeah. What a difference a week makes, Rosalind. Remember last week it was just tremendously cold across the valley, but today great weather. Radar is quiet, and we're expecting the radar to remain that way right for the rest of your weekend and into the early portion of next week. Now, looking right now at the current temperature right now, we're currently sitting at 65 degrees here in Columbus. Looking at relative humidity of 36%, a south-southwest wind at 9 miles per hour, and the pressure right now is currently falling across the area. Elsewhere, temperatures looking like this: 62 up in Macon, 65 in Birmingham, 67 in Montgomery, and 63 degrees in the ATL in Atlanta. We're looking at, again, a pretty quiet night for tonight. You might see a few clouds sneaking here for tomorrow, but otherwise looking pretty good as we go into the second half of our weekend for Sunday. So a few clouds around for tomorrow morning. Looks like we'll see temperatures right around 46 degrees, so not as cold as the 34 we had this morning. Coming up next, we'll take a more detailed look at those high temperatures for tomorrow and talk about the potential for some heavy storms potential into Tuesday and Wednesday morning.
All right, Greg, looking forward to it. Thank you. We are following a developing story out of southwest Georgia where 3 people are dead following a plane crash in Albany today. Officials say the plane crashed shortly after taking off, and it was in flames after it hit the ground. All 3 people aboard the aircraft died in the crash. The Southwest Georgia Regional Airport is now closed until further notice. Well, have you signed up for insurance under the Affordable Health Care Act yet? If not, time is running out. Tomorrow is the deadline, and not signing up will cost you. People who have not signed up by January 31st will be hit with a tax penalty. It's either $695 or 2.5% of your income, whichever adds up to be more. Well, people came together to call for an end to violence plaguing the Columbus community. The Peace and Unity Coalition held a Unity Peace Walk to bring awareness to the issue. Organizers say ending the violence will take the community as a whole. Everyone must be involved. They just want the community to be a decent place to live for everyone.
I believe that people realize that it's time for us to stand up and to do something about the violence that is happening in our community. And not one person can do it alone. This has to be a communal effort. And I believe that if everybody just do their part, we can do some amazing things.
Well, it looks like maybe 100 people showed up for the Unity Peace Walk today. Organizers were hoping that at least 1,000 would show up. Well, some residents here in the Valley area taking part in a very special cause that will not only raise awareness for an important issue, but also help them lead a more active lifestyle. Today kicked off the beginning of the Run Ranger Run event. Look at them go. Teams taking part in the Run Ranger Run pledge to walk, run, or bike a combined 565 miles throughout the month of February. The initiative is to bring awareness to the issue, have transitioning into civilian life after serving the country.
This is the fourth year we've done this, and so we've always had a team every year in honor of my brother Brad Leatherman, who is very involved with Mr. Munger and Michael Schlitz from Gallant Feud.
It lets the local communities know that veterans are struggling, especially in the transition, so that we need to reach out to businesses and the community to make sure those guys are getting put into job positions that they know what the community has to offer.
Awesome project there. Last year, 163 teams participated, $137,000 was pledged, and more than 73,000 miles were logged. This morning in Auburn, a group of community members braved frigid water for a great cause. More than 60 people jumped into the Sanford Pool for the Auburn Polar Plunge. Oh my goodness, did they really do it? Well, all the money raised today will go to support the Lee County Special Olympics athletes as they head to area, state, and national games.
It stays local and it stays with athletes in our community and with kids that really need it and the families that need it, so they don't have to spend as much money to go to different events, and we can also offer more expansive programs for them. So it's very important, and you know, you can raise money for an important cause and actually have a good time doing it.
This is the 4th year for this unbelievable event. Well, 70 years ago, they stormed the beaches of Normandy and flew over the skies of France. Today in Montgomery, 9 World War II veterans were honored for their service to one of our country's longest allies. They received the French Legion of Honor medal, the highest honor the country awards. The veterans were thankful for the medal, but they say they were just doing their duty. Those veterans are now considered Knights of the Legion of Honor. Still to come here on the news at 6, with the critical Iowa caucuses just days away, we'll tell you which 2016 candidates picked up a key endorsement from the New York Times today. Plus, we'll have an update on the multi-day hunt in California for the 2 remaining prisoners who escaped from an Orange County jail.
And high pressure's been giving us some great weather for the first half of our weekend, but will it continue for the second half? I'll let you know coming up right after the break.
Coverage you can count on. This is WTVM News Leader 9.
2 days before the Iowa caucuses, 2 presidential candidates clinched some big endorsements. The New York Times announced it's backing Hillary Clinton for the Democratic presidential nomination. Ohio Governor John Kasich received the nod for the Republican presidential nomination. The Times says it picked Clinton over Bernie Sanders due to her experience and policy ideas. The state of California breathing a sigh of relief after 2 remaining fugitives are back in the slammer. The Orange County Sheriff's Office tweeted yesterday Hussein Nayeri and Jonathan Tu are with police in San Francisco. A 3rd fugitive, Bok Duong, showed up Friday at a local auto shop in Santa Ana and said he wanted to surrender.
He is cooperating. He is providing us information that we're able to distribute and react on. I don't want to get into the specifics of the interview, but I can tell you he's being cooperative thus far.
All 3 vanished in a sophisticated escape from Orange County's Central Men's Jail on Friday, January 22nd. They are accused of murder, attempted murder, and torture. Well, Beautiful weather today, nice temperatures, but will this picture that we're seeing outside hold on for the second half of the weekend? Greg, what do you say?
Well, I think it will temperature-wise. I don't know if the skies will be as blue as this picture here, but for the most part, we're going to see a pretty good day ahead. Let's go and see what's trending with that forecast. Remember, as always, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram as we're looking at another warm day ahead for your Sunday. Just a few more clouds out there. Still tracking potential for some strong to maybe isolated severe storms, but I don't think the threat's going to be overly high. I'll explain why in a second. And then colder weather returning as we head toward the end of the next work week. Now, what we're currently seeing across the area is we've got high pressure in control of our area. We're getting a southerly flow, and you're noticing all the clouds back up here in this developing storm system out toward the west. Now, what that's going to mean for us is that we're going to see kind of a classic setup of the class of air masses as we saw temperatures today in the 60s, and we'll probably see some areas getting into the 70s as we head toward the early portion of next week. Now, what we got going on is, again, the classic setup where we're going to have mild air in place and cold weather kind of coming at us. So, again, we're getting temperatures to kind of warm up here. You notice we don't have any blue across the south. This is a cold weather tracker, but when you get that purple, that's some real cold air coming down. So you're getting the clash of the air masses, and then once the front goes on through, it's going to be cold on Friday and stay cold and a bit chilly heading into next week. So, again, that's one ingredient. The other ingredient when we're talking severe weather is that we're talking again about how this thing's going to track on out with the severe weather. You see the southerly flow coming through here, and we're going to see the chance of storms getting fired up along that boundary, and then it'll be plenty cold as we head into next week. So quite chilly even heading into the weekend. Futurecast put this in motion for you again, looking pretty good for it today as we're going to see again a few more clouds tomorrow. Partly cloudy, should stay dry, although we're going to see clouds again increasing on Monday, and then we could see some showers and thunderstorms coming in as we head into the weekend. So heading into Tuesday and Wednesday. So here's the fringes of that coming in right now. Here's the low pressure we'll be tracking as it comes out of the plains. It's going to be moving to the north. A big snowstorm on the northern side of this, but again, we'll see showers and thunderstorms right along that boundary from Memphis all the way down to Jackson as we go into Tuesday afternoon. When it comes through our area, we're talking about Tuesday night, Wednesday morning time frame. So the timing on this could change a little bit as we go through the next couple of days. Looking at your forecast here for tonight, looking pretty good. Not as cold as this morning. Again, we were well down in the 30s this morning. We're going to go for 46 for an overnight low. Going for the afternoon, no, again, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures getting right near that 70-degree mark. A pretty good day ahead for the second half of your weekend. Here goes the rest of my extended day outlook as we're going to see again temperatures on the mild side. Groundhog Day, very warm, but we're going to be turning colder. Again, watch out that alert there for Tuesday and Wednesday morning early, and cooler weather as we head toward Friday and Saturday. So really not looking all that bad there, Rosalind. We just got to get rid of watch these storms as they come in on Tuesday and Wednesday and whether we're going to get any severe weather or not.
Yeah, certainly be looking out for that. But Sunday and Monday, both looking great.
Sunday, yeah, not too bad. There's just got to be a little more cloud cover in here.
Like the temperatures, though.
Yeah, but pretty good.
Right.
Pretty
Thank
warm.
you, Greg. Coming up, it's a battle for region supremacy between two local teams on the hardwood. Who would come out on top? Plus, college football's top prospects took to the field this afternoon with one more chance to prove themselves to NFL scouts. We've got highlights from the Senior Bowl coming up.
from WTVM Sports Leader 9, Paul Stockman.
Well, if you're like me, you're probably feeling a bit bowled over right now. We're fresh off a college football bowl season. We got the Pro Bowl tomorrow. We got the Super Bowl next week. But today we're just looking at the Senior Bowl as the best college prospects took the field this afternoon. Let's head to Mobile, where Bama's Jay Coker were leading the South team in the first quarter of this game. But here's a name you might be familiar with, Georgia Bulldog and former Harris County Tiger Jordan Jenkins getting in on this tackle in the opening kickoff of the game. Now let's go to the offensive side. Coker showing he can get things done with his legs as well as his arm. Scrambling for 10 yards here, the South would end up scoring on that drive to take the early lead. SEC showing out today. Dak Prescott from Mississippi State in at quarterback, hitting Paul McRoberts of Southeast Missouri State. Prescott was the game MVP, in fact. South up 17-3. Then in the fourth, another tied prospect, Kenyon Drake, going to the corner for the touchdown. South goes on to beat the North 27-16 in one of the final tests before the NFL draft. From college football to college hoops, Georgia Tech facing Syracuse earlier this afternoon. This game was close down to the wire. Second half, it's all tied, but not anymore. Adam Smith hits Ben Lammers with the finish for the alley-oop. Jackets up by 2. 5 minutes remaining. Nick Jacobs with the hook shot, knocks it home, led the Jackets with 14 points. They're up by 4, but not for long. On the other end of the floor, Syracuse coming back. Malachi Richardson dropping the tray, pulls the Orange within 1. And later, it's Richardson once again, this time going to the hoop, gets the layup and the foul. He would drain clutch free throws down the stretch to give Syracuse a 3-point lead. Then in the final seconds, last chance for Tech, Adam Smith grabs the loose ball, desperation heave, barely no good. Tech falls 60-57. They've now lost 6 of their last 8 games. High school action this afternoon. Shaw hosting LaGrange in the Region 1 showdown. Pick it right up in the action as Dakeem Diaz on transition, driving for the bucket plus the foul. Then it's B.J. Knight for the Raiders, lining it up and draining one from the perimeter. Shaw with a 17-point lead in the second quarter. Then LaGrange getting to work, specifically Derico Smith, the drive getting things started, but then heating up from beyond the arc. Smith for 3 at the top of the key, and then once again for 3 from the left side, and then for 3 from the right wing. And then when the Smith drive won't drop, Keenan Gray will come up with the rebound and the putback for the 2. An 18-0 run gives the Grangers a 31-30 lead, and LaGrange goes on to win it 63-61. Shaw out of the region title chase. Grangers sole possession of first with just 2 games to play in the season. Let's head to Southwest Georgia, where Columbus State faces Georgia Southwestern. Fitting name, right? Pick it up early in the game. Aaliyah Holden for the Hurricanes wrangles a loose ball in the paint and then gets the layup for 2. Cougars trailing after the first quarter, but they would have another great game from Michelle Mitchell. She takes the fadeaway here, makes the 2, and falling down. Mitchell led all scorers with 23 points this afternoon. Columbus State won big, 72-56, the final. Also CSU in softball action today. Season opener trailing UAH. It's Alabama Huntsville, 2-0 after the top of the first. The Lady Cougars coming through in the bottom of the inning. Mackenzie Fagioli singles the home Katie White, part of a 3-run first. Then in the second, White with a single to center. Leanne Reese would score to make it 5-2 CSU after 2. From the top of 3, some serious defense. Caitlin Bannister hammers it to center. Lakia Smith with a great running catch to save a homer, but the next batter, Tyler Harrison, puts one where Smith can't chase it down. Harrison's second 2-run homer of the game. That cuts it to 5-4. Then in the 4th inning, Savannah Smith gets all of this one to center. Kia Smith would go for it, but it's just out of her reach, and that's another home run. 3-run blast makes it 7-5. Huntsville Cougars fall in the opener, 13-5, the final. In CSU's second game in the Peach Belt Gulf South Challenge, the Lady Cougars trailing Valdosta State 1-0. That game right now in the bottom of the 5th. And that is your look at sports. Back to you. Or are we still going? Okay, sorry, we're still going here. Okay, awesome. Well, we got the Columbus Lions continuing to build their roster as we get closer to the 2016 season. The Lions held open tryouts at Garrett Harrison Stadium in Phoenix City this afternoon, scouting the best talent possible from before training camp as they come in a few weeks. Head coach Jason Gibson says even though they're close to the start of the season, he'll take anyone that can help his team win another championship.
I'm always just looking for a really good player, you know, and we were talking with the coaches about who's here and who's not here. And, you know, I've kind of got my training camp roster full, but I tell guys, if you're better than what I got, I'm going to make room, trust me. We play to win, and I'm going to play the best players.
Columbus Lions kick off their season when they play March 20th against the Georgia Firebirds. That game is at 4 p.m. Now that's your look at sports.
There you go.
There we go.
Thank you, Paul, for
I
tossing
was
to me.
so ready to just get out of there with that, I guess.
But you know, the Lions, I hope they have a repeat of last season.
Championship
Great.
last year. We'll see if they can do it. New league, though. New challenge, new teams. Let's see if they can do it.
All right, we'll have to see. Get us ready for tonight, Greg, as we get to head out the door.
Well, looking pretty good for the second half of the weekend. A few more clouds for tomorrow, partly cloudy again. We'll be watching very closely on Groundhog Day, whether we're going to see some potential strong storms for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then it turns colder again, so it'll get used to this warm weather. It's not going to stick around.
Not going to stick around, of course. We expected that, right?
Yeah,
But we're
of course.
enjoying it while it lasts.
It's nice today. It'll be great tomorrow.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a great one, everyone.